What's up, everybody? It's your boy Hollywood AJ back with another episode of Hollywood at a Night with my co-star, the one, the only, Mrs. Allie. What's up, girl?
Ooh, co-star. I like that. Let's do that from now on.
Co-star, I got you. I got you.
Hell yeah. I'm
what
good,
you?
man. I'm tired.
Yeah. What you been
Yeah.
up to this past week? How was your Valentine's?
Oh, good. I hung out with my girlfriend. We went and saw I'm married, by the way. I
Yep.
do not have a girlfriend. She is my
So for the
girl
men that are
slash
in her
friend.
DMs, stay out of them. She's taken.
Not even DMs, it's actually Facebook, which is really funny.
Mm,
No, yeah, so my friend and we actually went and saw a comedian. His name is Mark Norman here in Tulsa.
nice.
Big comedy fans, stand-up comedy fans. And yeah, I spent the night with her. We started that like at 9:45 our Oklahoma time. And I didn't get home till like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm
Dang.
still tired from it.
You're
So
still reeling from it. My goodness.
shout out to my really good friend Nicole. We had a lot of fun. So
Hell yeah.
what about
Hell
you?
yeah. I just hung out with the kids.
Yeah.
Went to Denver. I currently am going through a gout flare up, which our older members of our audience will know. It's not fun. And for the trolls and the player haters out there that do not like me, I'm sure they're loving this because they call me fat and they call me this and that, which, I don't mind downing three tacos in one setting.
I don't think
So
any of us do. Just
exactly. So I'm just currently reaping the benefits of that wonderful
yeah.
condition. And yeah, just currently going through some stuff that I will discuss probably at a different day. But
Hmm.
all in all, just happy to be here. Happy to see my children, spend Valentine's Day with them and get
Good.
them their gifts. It was awesome. It was definitely a lot of
That's
fun.
what I was going to ask. Do you give your kids Valentine's Day gifts?
I do just a little bit. Nothing too crazy like Easter or their birthdays or Christmas,
Yeah.
but just a little bit to let them know, hey, yeah, it's a special holiday. We
Yeah.
had to give Valentine's to my daughter's class, which is,
Hmm.
always fun. And I like, it's funny, me as a kid, I enjoyed Valentine's parties more than I did like Christmas parties or Halloween parties. I don't know
Hmm.
why, I just did. So I put a lot of
Because
effort into helping my daughter with her box.
I think
So
that's because you're a little romantic.
yeah, I am. Hopeless romantic type
Hopeless
shit,
romantic.
you know, type shit.
Yep.
So, but we shall get into the reason why y'all clicked this video. Now, quick disclaimer, we are not going to be going and talking about the whole story of Jeffrey Epstein and his rise to fame and how he got to know this celebrity and that congressman or this businesswoman. We're not going to talk about any of that because y'all should know what it is. We're also not going to talk about what happened on the island because there's a whole Netflix documentary that you can go and watch. So we're not going to
Hmm.
bore you with the details. What we will share with you, though, is the names that are currently on this list. Now, before we do that, though, Ali, you wanted to mention something about Pizzagate.
Yeah. So you actually
Oh,
just told me before we started recording that they released 300 names, I think it was.
300 names, and supposedly, I don't know how true this is, they released all the rest of the entire files that they had.
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't know how
Okay.
true that can be. I feel like if it was true, it would be a lot more in my algorithm. But then again, my algorithm is mostly sports and entertainment, even
Hmm.
though this tiptoes the line of entertainment.
Hmm.
So again, I don't know how true the 3 million rest of the files are out. So, but yes, just going based off of what we know.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, we were looking at the list. We'll talk about that here in a second. Now, what I wanted to cover, because I was actually deep into Pizzagate back in 20, I think it was around 2015, 2016 when Trump was elected for the first time. And why I was so interested in it. Well, I'm also highly interested in true crime. And it came up on my YouTube algorithm back in the day. And I was working from home, so I had a lot of time on my hands and listened to a bunch of stuff. And I actually went deep into the into Pizzagate theory. And now the reason I did is because I was telling you before we started recording. I'm not political. I'm very apolitical. I hate talking about politics. But it was a little bit weird to me the way that the political climate was turning. because we were coming off of the hills. I think it was Barack Obama and kind of a little bit more like liberal leaning.
I think it was more like the transition of we're going from Obama to Trump, right?
Yeah. And it was
Okay.
just so wild to me that everybody started kind of worshiping politics, which political people,
Yeah.
politicians. And I've never worshiped really anybody. Again, I leave even when I like really love like a singer or a band or something like that. I
Yeah.
really kind of keep it at arm's length as much as I can. I don't worship people.
Right.
And so what kind of got me interested in that is like so much stuff was coming up about Trump himself and this conservative, weird, like alt conservative movement that was coming out.
Mm.
And I was not falling into it the way that a lot of other people I saw fall into it.
Hmm.
And so I started questioning everything. And then Pizzagate came along. And now Pizzagate people think this has to do with an actual pizza parlor in Washington, D.C. And it does. There's some truth to that. A deranged man did go into that pizza parlor after all this came through, I think, with the gun. And it was wild. It was a really wild time. But what Pizzagate was actually referring to is what child predators call what they do. You have to use code words, especially on the internet.
Yeah.
And if you're searching for things that you don't want to, or to even talking about things that you don't want to be picked up by police, FBI,
Right.
you
Right.
have
Right.
to
Right.
use lingo.
Yeah.
And a lot of the lingo that people were figuring out was that they would call something like cheese pizza, which is another term for, CSAM
Huh.
and, sex abuse materials and stuff like that. And
Huh.
so went down this huge rabbit hole where a lot of this stuff I started to actually believe. And I was like, okay, but I don't want to sound crazy. I'm not like these crazy conspiracy theorists. We'll wait till something comes out. And then when the files started to be released from Jeffrey Epstein, lo and behold, a lot of this same stuff that was being talked about in Pizzagate is now coming out in the files,
Huh.
talking about pizza, talking about hot dogs, and all this
Huh.
stuff. And we can deep dive into it. It's a very emotionally draining subject to talk about, um,
Yeah.
in
So
in a long video.
yeah. So just real quick, if you can, I'm currently back in college, and in one of my classes, we actually talked about it.
hmm
So I only know the gist of it, and it was wild how that narrative was pushed. But how do you think Pizzagate and Jeffrey Epstein are tied in?
Well, so Pizzagate started being labeled as a conspiracy theory, and I don't know if you remember this. I mean, this was 10 years ago, if you can even fathom that.
Yeah, no, I barely learned about it probably 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So
So this was 10 years ago for me. And I was in my 20s at the time. And so what started happening is that people were starting to push the wrong narrative with a lot of the stuff that people were saying, hey, this is true. And then they were pushing stuff that was really out there and wild. And QAnon, I don't know if you know about that. That was also
I've
being
heard of
pushed a
them.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is another story within itself. We'll talk about that later. But this started, basically, it got pushed to the bottom of the truth, seekers out there.
Yeah.
And now the way that ties to Jeffrey Epstein is that a lot of the stuff that's coming out and the horrible stuff that people were accusing politicians of doing, celebrities doing, is now coming out and it's in writing. And everything that they basically said, hey, this is happening, and they were called crazy, is now listed in these emails and
Yeah.
documents of stuff that they're talking about. And you're talking about like vile things, and I don't know how much we can talk about on here, you
Let's
know.
just say it has a lot to do with children being touched inappropriately, um, being fornicated with, basically.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
also even the consumption of body parts and stuff. I mean, like,
yes, yes, there were probably some gang rapes going on, you
yeah.
know. And here's another thing that I feel like nobody would also kind of wants to talk about is a lot of the names on this list that we don't know what all they've done. We probably won't know
hmm
for a while because there's so many names and because everybody's going to try and get their story out or wash their hands away from it. But a lot of the people on this list could not have done anything with kids, could not have done anything sexual with kids. What I've heard is that there were women of age on the island, like 18 and up, 21 and up, things like that. And these congressmen or these businessmen or these politicians who had wives, who had families, would sleep with these older women of age. And they don't want their name being on the list, not only because it looks bad, but because then their wives would probably know that, oh, well, you slept with so and so when you went to the island on this day. So it doesn't have to do with kids in the sense of like that they were just the only victims.
Hmm.
It had to deal with, women of age as well.
Hmm. And that's where it gets weird. Like, so, we can sit here and talk about like, okay, legal, yes, it's still technically prostitution. Um, there were, I mean, there were, deals being made and stuff like that in these emails that you're reading, and we're not going to go through them, but you're talking about like, hey, that one girl that you had, um, or thank you for like the Brazilian girl, and
Yeah.
like all this like back and forth weird stuff, and it's just like this is not how normal everyday people talk, especially
No,
through emails. Like, what kind of world are these people living in? I guess is like my whole thing is like, who talks like this?
people that don't want to get caught.
Yeah,
People that
it's
don't want to get caught and people that want to still have their cake and eat it too. It just so happens that they're in the same category as absolute straight weirdos and absolute men that should be castrated or put to sleep. You know what I
hmm.
mean? So, yeah, no.
And then also what I question is why an island? Like, do you guys seriously just my
It would.
question,
Go ahead. Then I'll tell you my opinion.
my question is, does that much money really make you evil? That's my like $1 million question. Do you really get that bored that you have to start turning into an evil person, or are you just evil now you have money?
My
I
man
don't
Shannon Sharp.
understand it.
My man Shannon Sharp has the he's the quote God. But one of the quotes that he has that I really love is money doesn't change you, money makes you more of what you already are.
That's a
So if
good one.
you're an asshole, you get a $28 million in your bank account, you're gonna be a bigger asshole. If you're a sex fiend, you get $28 million in your bank account, you're gonna be a bigger sex fiend. If you're a drug addict, you get $28 million in your bank account, you're gonna be a bigger drug addict.
Hmm.
That's just the way it is. So these dudes are really showing that they've been weird like this all along.
Yeah.
And because Jeffrey Epstein had X amount of dollars in his bank account to buy
Hmm.
an island that has no extradition,
Hmm.
to where he could let his weirdness come out
Yeah.
and basically get away with it.
Now, like just, with everything that's coming out, do you think that he strictly did this for bribe? Like, do you think that this was bribing material that he was trying to push? Because I mean, you're talking about world leaders who are putting their trust into this man.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Why?
mean,
Why him?
maybe because his ties already that he had, you know?
I mean, and he has a really insane
Yeah,
story.
he does. I'm one of those people that feels like he's famous for absolutely no reason
Hmm.
and got rich for no reason. Like he was literally just handed X amount of dollars
Yeah.
and was told here and got weird.
Yeah.
That's my honest opinion of him. And, there's a lot of similarities between him and one Sean Puffy Combs to where, yes, I would say it is a bribery technique to where if they don't give him immunity in anything, it doesn't have to be crime related. It could be in the world of law, it could be in the world of tax evasion or tax purposes. If they don't help him out with X, Y, and Z, he could be like, oh, well, funny, I have this video of you doing this to a little girl, or
Hmm.
I have you doing this to a woman, and wait, that's not your wife
Hmm.
that you have two kids from. So if you don't do this for me, I'm going to show her. And then they do it. Same reason why Puffy Combs did what he did.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I would say yes, it is 100% bribery for sure. Because when a man has wealth and all the women in the world, the only other ingredient he's missing is power.
Right. And so, yeah, that, I mean, that begs the question as well. Like, are are these people bored? I mean, is this what happens when you have too much power, you have too much money, you have too much pull?
I think
I,
they're bored and weird. And these dudes want to cheat on their wife, whether it be with a of age woman or whether it be with an underage woman. And they figure Jeffrey can do that while still making it look like they're these faithful husbands, these faithful boyfriends.
and let's talk,
So,
let's talk about the depravity of that then. That a child, there's people coming out saying these young women, this it's not a young woman, that is a child. You're talking about under the age of 18, 18 even pushing it of legal age. Under the age of 18, that is not a young woman. That is a child.
I
And I wish
mean,
that people would stop using that term. I mean, these were children. I mean, you're talking even in the files it talked some child as young as 9 years old.
oh my God,
Like
that is
literally writing in the email,
that
nine
is
years old.
ridiculous.
And it's just like, and I look at that of like, how in your right mind would you ever find that attractive? How in your right mind?
Honestly,
There's
no,
literally
yeah,
something wrong with you in your
oh for
brain,
sure. And you need to be put down like a dog,
like a dog.
straight up. There's no other way about it. You don't even need a trial. You need to have you need to have your basketballs cut off, and you just need to go to sleep. You know what I mean?
And it's like
So
it's one of those things, if you don't laugh, you cry. Like you can't. My opinion, and to everybody wanting to go through these files, I've only been through, God, I can't even like 20, 30. Um, it's so it leaves you a little bit desensitized because it makes you feel like
yeah.
you're looking at something that's not real, and this is 100% real, and this 100%
Well,
happened.
then I think with all the stuff that happened with Diddy, it's like okay, we've seen the same song and dance before,
Hmm.
so we kind of know what to expect here. But I wanted to ask you something. What do you think about the parents that quote unquote allowed this to happen? Because at the end of the day, you're a parent. You
Hmm.
have a right to tell your child, no, you're not going to go to some strange man's house and give him a massage. That's not going to happen. I don't care if you're getting paid. If you want to get
Yeah.
paid, go work at McDonald's, go work at Dairy Queen. What are your thoughts on that? Because I would blame the parents as much as I would blame the weirdos that are involved.
Hmm. I think that he was a groomer, and with groomers, they don't they basically turn it into not necessarily coming out and saying, "Hey, don't tell your parents this." It's really, "Hey, like it's really cool. Like no big deal. Like, all the cool people are doing it, in less terms than that." But I don't think the parents really knew, and if they did, they're just as involved as he is. I think actually this is as big as I think you're seeing probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, sex trafficking ring in the whole world. I was
Yeah.
reading comments where people were just like, if I was in the United States right now, I'd be so angry and I would be rioting and stuff like that. Granted, absolutely, I don't think we're mad enough.
No.
But this is a whole world thing. You're talking about Prince Andrew, you're talking about, I think it was the princess of
Well,
somewhere.
let's look into the names, shall
Oh
we?
yeah, we do have the names on there. I mean, this is literally worldwide. I think this is the biggest sex trafficking ring. When you hear about a bunch of kids, like let's just use like the US for example. When
Yeah.
you hear about how many children come across the border who are basically separated from the people that they came with,
Yeah.
and now they go missing. I mean, you're talking about, I mean, I can't even tell the numbers. One time it was like 100,000 children that completely
Oh
just
my
went
God. That is
missing.
ridiculous.
I think
Probably worldwide.
it's worldwide. I think this has something to do with it. Because how do you appease this many, child
Yeah.
predators for this long without that many
I mean,
children?
and this is courtesy of Unilad. Shout out to them. I'm sorry. I just pulled these off your website. So, I mean, these names are exactly who you thought it was. Robert F. Kennedy. Um, some of these people I don't know. Like, I don't know who Jay Lefkowitz is. I don't know who Jared Kushner is.
So
Carl
Jared
Klein.
Kushner is Ivanka Trump's husband.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's really no surprise there. Elvis Presley. Now, you and I talked off air
Hmm.
what the hell he would be doing there. Kash Patel, Nancy Pelosi, Michelle Obama, Benjamin Netanyahu.
I
Um,
mean, you even
this is just
have
one row. So if you're listening to this maybe take the time to look over and look at the screen right now because all the names are being shown right now.
I mean, you're even talking about like Edward Snowden,
Yes,
which,
Snowden, which I thought he left to Russia and has been there
yeah, so what I'm thinking with the release of these names, because this happened, what, 2 days ago?
about.
So I would think with the release of this names, this is anybody who was mentioned in the files. We have no context. We have no context of
No.
if they were sending the email, if they were receiving an email, what the context of the email stated. So this is also another opinion that I have with them
Okay.
releasing these files. Like, you guys are all disgusting. You guys are all corrupt. I don't care if
Oh,
you're
for
a
sure.
Republican or a Democrat. I don't care about your dog and pony show that you do with these stupid Senate hearings where everybody's just like, oh, well, Trump this and Trump that. Yeah, obviously Trump this
Yeah.
and Trump that. But what about you? I mean, this has
Yeah.
been around since what, the 70s that he's had this kind of power.
Yeah. Late 80s or early 80s, late 70s.
Basically, anybody who's going to get up and say and be on this little pedestal and like on their high horse and saying, "Oh, I'm better than you. You should have done this." Like, bro, like you are a politician. You're probably as guilty as the person that you're pointing the finger to. I'm sorry, you just
I
are.
mean, people put Michelle Obama on the pedestal she's on here, you know?
Well, the one that I saw, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez,
Who the hell is that?
her AOC, she's a congresswoman, I want to say,
Okay. Okay.
and she is younger than me.
What?
So what I'm saying is, what's the context of her being in these files?
Yeah, I agree. We were talking about this off air. It gets really hairy in these names.
I mean,
That
Ronald Reagan.
that doesn't mean these people that doesn't mean that all these people fornicated with young women. Could they have? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean that they did,
Oh,
you know?
here's a perfect example. So Bill Gates, one of emails that was just one of the emails that's trending right now. Bill Gates had an email back and forth with Jeffrey Epstein
Uh-huh.
talking about how he was trying to slip his wife STD medication, but she wouldn't know, or yeah, like she wouldn't know she was taking it. He was just trying to
Hmm.
basically trick her into
Really?
taking it. But she is mentioned in the files, Melinda Gates, which was his wife at the time.
Uh-huh.
That's the only time she was mentioned. So there's the context with that one.
So she was just like there.
She was just mentioned in the email that he had with Jeffrey Epstein saying, "Hey, I got an STD from one of your stripper friends, one of your girls that you introduced me to. I think it was like a Russian hooker."
Okay.
And
Yeah, I see his name right here, Bill Gates.
he named Melinda in that email, and I think that's the only time she's mentioned. So
Hmm.
there's the context for that one. So why is she on this list if she had nothing to do with it? We need context here.
We
This is
do. We do.
ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. But there are some outliers on here where you're like, yeah, those people did that shit. And one is Bill Cosby,
Well,
Woody
yeah.
Woody Allen.
I mean,
But to back up your point as to what you were saying is Russell Wilson, quarterback for the New York Giants now, former quarterback for the Denver Broncos, Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Seattle Seahawks. He's another reason as to why we need context because there was a story that came out of how he was allegedly on the list. And since then,
I don't see his name on here.
well, here's why. Because people thought, oh, Russell Wilson's touching kids now. What the fuck? No. What happened was his agent was trying to get Russell Wilson another private jet because he was going to
Okay.
get rid of his older one. So, with that said private jet that Russell Wilson was trying to purchase, just so happened to belong to one Jeffrey Epstein. And Russell Wilson even went on X after and he was like, look, I did not go to no island. The only relation I have with Jeffrey Epstein is the fact that I tried to buy his plane that used to belong to him. That's it.
Mm.
So, to your point, yes, we do need context for
And
sure.
and that's another thing. Oh, here we go. So Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex,
Yeah. What do
who's
you think of Michael Jackson being on there? Being that what happened with him
oh,
and those young boys accusing him of what he did. What do you think about that?
hot take. I think he was innocent.
You do.
I do. I think he was, and we can make a whole video about that too.
We could.
Now, do I have a weird feeling about it? I feel like he was a star from what the age of 5. Um, and then he grew up in stardom and he created that place. What was it called?
Neverland.
Neverland for kids to go to. Now, as a parent, am I going to send my kid there to spend
No.
the night with an adult man? I
Oh,
don't care who
hell
you
no.
are. I do not care who you are. Absolutely not. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that came out about Michael Jackson and about him being accused of stuff, and I do think he's innocent, honestly.
I'm on the other end. People are gonna hate me for this, but I already get enough hate as it is. I I think he did.
Okay.
I just think he was amazing. He was an amazing artist. I'm not taking anything away from him. He was magical on stage. But here's the reason, and I don't mean to go off on a tangent for this. I'm only bringing it up because his name is on here. And don't get me wrong, my money will go to his biopic that's coming out April 24th. I want to see it.
Hmm.
But look at Macaulay Culkin before Home Alone and look at him after he met Michael Jackson. You mean to tell me something didn't happen between them two?
Right. And we're never going to know, so we
We're
can have
never
our
going to
opinion
know.
about that. But if you
Exactly.
if you dig deep into his what happened about his death and also what happened to or with his will after he died, it'll leave you with questions for
Yeah,
sure.
oh, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Again, different conversation for a different day. I'm not taking anything he did as an artist. He was magical. He was special. I respect him as an artist, but I just feel the stories were just a little too graphic for someone to just be making up.
Hmm.
That's just me. That's just me.
And I guess which brings me to this point. Do we really understand? I feel like we live in like an entertainment obsessed world. This whole Epstein thing, I think it has people shaken up because this is now something that's not, I feel like we're just like watching this from the outside of our skin. Like I don't think we're ever really going to know what happened, what is happening. I don't feel like we hold enough power to ever know or question. Like
Well,
even
years. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, even like the media is bought and paid for. I mean,
Yeah.
media is owned by like Disney, who's owned by like all these like crazy people, and they spin whatever narrative they want. I really don't think we're ever really going to get to the bottom of any of this.
Yeah. I don't think so either, in the sense that so many people are going to try and pay to cover this up, even though their names are on there.
Hmm.
Granted, they did whatever they did, but at the same time, they wouldn't want this to get out because it would ruin their reputation. It would ruin everything that they've worked for, basically, you know?
Yeah, but
So
like why
it
why
would
are you
it would
releasing these
collapse
names?
every industry we know. The inter
Fantastic.
the entertainment industry, the politics industry, the business industry, whatever you could think of will
Okay.
fall, will crumble. And then what are we going to do?
Oh, I'm all for it. I am all for
I
that.
am too, because it'd be interesting to see.
I am
But
a
at the same time, that's when shit would get scary.
Oh, 100%. I am a full anarchist. I'm sorry. I am. I'm apolitical. I don't trust anybody. I don't have heroes. I want to wake up every day, even if it's not comfortable. I want to wake up every single day and I want everything to be 100% real and authentic. And if that is ugly, we need to know and we got to get rid of it and we got to build from the ground up. I know
So
that
you
sounds,
would go purging,
oh my
huh?
everybody on this list with the context. Okay, I am not talking about straight up rioting if somebody on this list didn't do anything wrong. Okay, I'm not talking about that. I am talking about the people in the context of the files, in the context of what they did, being, I don't know how to say this, YouTube friendly. I want them to pay for what they did. If you hurt a child, You are the scum of the earth. I don't
100%.
care if you're a prince. I don't care if you're a princess. And this is my hot take and my opinion on all of this. I think these people truly and genuinely are evil at heart. And I think that they have to come out and make sure that the media covers them in a great light and does all this in a great light just to be good people. I want
Yeah.
them to be scared. I want them to be uncomfortable because whatever they did to those children made them uncomfortable and made them
Yes.
scared, and they deserve everything, every bad thing that's coming their way.
100%. The only problem is the obvious. Everybody's rich. Everybody can make a certain problem go away like that if you throw the right amount of dollar bills at it,
Hmm.
which is what makes this so dicey in the sense that we might never get the context that we need. Yeah, somebody's name could be on that list, but what were they really doing?
Hmm.
What were they messing around with a kid, or were they messing around with a woman of age and just so happened it was in the category of infidelity?
Hmm.
Like that's the part where I'm like, yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get any of that. Will some people come out? Maybe, but I feel like in the industry that they're in, they're better to just quote unquote ignore it and throw hush money at it rather than
Hmm.
just being honest to be like, hey, yeah, I was there, but it wasn't for what you think,
Yeah.
you know. So that's what makes this weird. That's what makes this interesting. But you
I
were
think I
you
think that
were
the way that they're handling this and the release of these files is super sketchy. I don't trust anyone. I don't trust Republicans. I don't trust Democrats. I don't trust anybody in power right now to handle this properly because
yeah, you kind of can't.
we're telling them to investigate themselves.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, look, this might be one of the few times I ever talk about Donald Trump on any podcast that I'm on. Part of the reason why so many people voted for him was because he said during his campaign, I'm releasing the Epstein files. I don't care if I'm on them.
Hmm.
So people, even as big as haters, were like, yes, we're going to get justice. The
Hmm.
industry is going to collapse. We're going to find out exactly what happened. And then we were at like a standstill. Trump's like,
Hmm.
oh, I'm not releasing them because I was never on them. Or, yeah, I'm on them, but I'm not releasing them. And then
Hmm.
that's when all the hate and he said what he needed to say to get back into office. But I feel like the pressure from the public really made him turn a leaf into being like, okay, maybe we could release it, but not the way that the public thought we would release it,
Hmm.
if that makes sense.
And that's what you have to realize. Like, I am by no means in love with Donald Trump. I don't like him. I don't like his presidency. I don't like anything about the guy. He came out and this is what they do. And I wish people would like realize this is what happens. Turn off your motherfucking TV. Stop listening to these people. They're going to tell you whatever you need to do. They are going to throw money at you. They're going to throw promises at you to make sure that they stay in power. Okay. And I'm not just talking about Donald Trump, I'm talking
Hmm?
about all of them. Here's what
Oh,
happened though. When they first came out, Kash Patel was going to be the director of the FBI. He was on all of our, favorite podcasts, Joe Rogan. He was talking to people saying, "Oh, this is going to be released." The minute that they got into office, they completely changed their tune.
they're like, what Epstein files?
Yeah. Donald Trump was sitting there with Pam Bondi at a press conference, and he was like, "Are we still talking about
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein?"
He's literally like, why are we
I
talking
wanted to
about
go through my
that?
phone and choke him. I'm like, we're not stupid. Like, I know you guys think we're stupid because you've been able to cover it up for this long. And you know what? Maybe sometimes we are. We have a lot
Well,
of stuff.
I think him being out of office really helped cover it up,
Yeah.
you know, I
Yeah.
think because he was the one that brought it up to begin with.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned Joe Rogan. He was on the list that we just showed, but he was on the list when they first came out because Jeffrey Epstein wanted to be on Joe Rogan's podcast, but Joe Rogan never responded to him.
Why do I feel like Jeffrey Epstein died a long time ago? Or so and so died.
I mean, 7 years is kind of a long time ago.
And when did he want to be on the podcast?
Around 2000, like 15, maybe.
To talk about what this is what I don't know who Jeffrey Epstein was, but behind all of this
I
stuff.
still don't. I still don't know how he got his wealth. I still don't know how he got his fame.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, but like I watched the documentary and stuff, but still, I'm just like, really? Like,
Well,
It
there was
was
stuff.
it wasn't American Dream type shit. It was
No.
more so like, here's money, do
Yeah.
what you want.
Well,
You know,
he worked for,
he worked
which is
for Wall Street, didn't
proven.
he?
Well, okay, so he got a job as a Harvard professor. Nobody knows how he got this position. And then he went into finance. He went into, what do they call it? Where they manage people's money.
Financial advisor.
Financial advisor, broker, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
then there's also ties to the Israeli intelligence agency. There's also ties to the CIA.
Yeah.
Um, a, a, I'm like, who is this guy?
Well,
Where did he
that's
come from?
yeah, yeah. No, that's true. That's
Like,
true. But
how are you working for the Israeli intelligence agency and you're living in the United States and you also have ties to the CIA?
well, that's where people. We could go down this rabbit hole right now. That's where people thinks he's hiding out.
Oh, yeah, people don't. Oh, that's what, yeah, we were talking about that because you sent me
Yeah,
that picture. You're like, is this Jeffrey Epstein?
yeah, yeah. No, and then I wanted to play this video from the Joe Rogan Experience
Oh, yes, please.
that I found rather interesting.
I need to take a sip of water because I am getting heated
Yeah,
and
no, go ahead.
irritated and pissed now.
Yeah, no. Hey, we'll show you this last few thing, but guys, please be sure to like and subscribe. Comment what your thoughts are about this
We're
wild,
we're gonna have to make this a series. There's just too much
wacky,
information.
wacky world we live in.
We will have to actually, you know what? We'll make a video of deep diving Jeffrey Epstein's
Yeah,
life.
for sure.
High school got into a fight
Okay,
during
can you
which
hear it?
one
Okay.
girl repeatedly
Yeah.
called the other girl
Okay.
a
Here we go.
Beach High School got into a fight during which one girl repeatedly called the other girl a prostitute or hooker. Following the fight, school administrations and parents investigated, searching one of the girl's purses and finding $300 in cash. The confession. The student initially claimed the money was from working at a fast food restaurant, but later revealed she had been paid for massages by a wealthy man, later identified as Jeffrey Epstein. This revelation led to a police investigation in March of 2005 when the stepmother of one of the girls reported the molestation to the Palm Beach police. Wow.
Wow, that's in
Yeah,
2005.
that was the first arrest.
And now listen to this. It says they identify the Royal Palm Beach High was identified as a focal point for recruitment, where, according to investigations, at least 15 students were lured into Epstein's Palm Beach home. Holy shit.
That's so crazy.
Now
That's in
imagine if
2005.
Imagine if those girls didn't get in that fight. Imagine if that didn't
Wow.
happen.
Yeah.
It's dark.
Yeah, so basically what that was saying is how one of the girls got into a fight with another girl, and that was the tipping point of the Epstein scandal and where we're at now with it.
Mm-hmm.
A
And see,
simple schoolyard fight.
that's what I was referring to. So these girls were like that age for a girl is very, I wouldn't say it's hard, but it's very formative.
Yeah.
So you have a wealthy man asking, and you need money, asking if you want to do this, just massages. Like I'd probably be learning at 15 too, just like
Oh,
thinking
me too.
who I was. $300 back in 2005, like hell yeah.
That's like $500 now.
It's yeah, like let's do it. So that's what I was talking about. Like I don't think some of the parents knew that, this
I
was
see what you're
happening.
saying.
I think he
I
was a
see.
groomer and I think he was choosing these
Yeah.
girls
Yeah.
carefully. And again, these children, they were children. 15 years old is a
They
child.
were. Now, let me ask you this, and not to change the subject, but it's on par with what we're talking about. I see these stories of these high school boys being in a sexual relation with their teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them are men. The teacher is a woman and the
Mm-hmm.
student is a boy. Where do you feel like the lines are blurred when it comes to something like that in the Epstein case? Because I feel like nobody really checks on the boys' mental health, and why would they?
Mm-hmm.
Because, hot teacher, they just boned. What
Mm-hmm.
he's not feeling sad. He's not feeling hurt or traumatized, Do you get what I'm saying? I guess my point is like, where do you feel like the lines are blurred when it comes to stuff like that?
I think that that comes down to parents, what parents are teaching their sons. I have two sons, and I swear to God, if a teacher ever tried to do that, they would be unalived. They would go missing, and they would be buried so deep into the earth that nobody would ever find them.
Yep,
You
Ali did it.
you made a really good point. How it doesn't traumatize you yet. Okay, I'm not a 15-year-old boy. I'm not a 16-year-old boy, 17-year-old boy. I never have been. But that those years now are going to be hazy, and there's going to be you don't know where the sexual line is now because an older teacher groomed you, and it's still grooming. And I think that's something, and we're seeing it more and more right now with female teachers who
Yeah.
are going, they're children. I don't care if you are a man or a woman. If you are sexually attracted to somebody under the age of 18, and I'm sorry, even somebody who just turned 18, there is something mentally wrong with you. And now
Yeah.
you're going to take that hurt or whatever caused you to be like that, and now you're going to put it into their lives. There's no excuse. I don't care. And I don't care if this happens and the kid goes to school the next day and is high-fived by all of his friends. It's just as bad if it was a girl.
Yeah.
Now, where does the line draw with that? Now, I think there are, children, boys who are in the files as well with this.
Mm.
I don't think evil knows gender.
No,
I
no, it don't.
don't.
No,
And
it don't.
I think we need to protect our children. I don't care if you're a boy or a girl. We need to protect our children and we need to do a better job of it.
We will end on that with that very powerful message. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe, comment on what you want to see next from us, what true crime topic you want us to cover, what paranormal topic you want us to cover.
Hell yeah, let's do that again.
It's your boy, Hollywood AJ. That's Mrs. Alley.
Bye,
We are
guys.
out. I always forget how to stop this.